It's Monday again. It's week 5. We're halfway to double digits for the year. Time needs to slow down, but let's get some reading done. Last week was the first of my themed vlogs where I said every now and again I'm going to choose a challenge or a theme that I'm going to do for the week. And I wouldn't say I smashed it because there were Saturday, Sunday. I barely read anything. Sunday I didn't do any reading. But that's because I ran out of my migraine tablets on, I think it was Wednesday, and by Friday my head was gone, and I'm still not great. I'm sat here now and I'm flinching and I just kind of can't really do much. But I've put a prescription in. They've approved it, so I should be getting a new prescription by the end of this week and be back on track by next week. It just means reading might be a bit this week. But obviously it's the final week of January. We're in the last, how many days? We're in the last 3 days of January now. The only thing that I really want to get done this week is This Vicious Grace by Emily Teed. If I can finish this, then that'll be 12 or 13 things that I finish this month, which is probably the best reading month, start to the year I've ever had. Am I slightly regretting my choice to do 100 manga? Yes, because I'm feeling pressure on myself because on Good Storygraph, I've obviously set my goal for 150 because it's the 50 books and the 100 manga. Even though I have read 13 things, it's still like I'm barely on track and I'm just, oh my god. What I might need to do is a couple of days, if I can, at some point, is just 2-3 days and just read a whole ton of manga and try and get a little bit ahead, get 10 ahead or something. But we shall see. But yeah, the only thing really this week is to finish This Vicious Grace and also get started on my February books. So I've got things like The Psalm for the Wild Bill, I've got First Blade, which is a ebook and things, and I desperately need to get onto audiobooks because I am now 20 hours behind on my 200-hour goal, and I've read none or listened to none in January, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, I really, while I'm setting up my journals, hopefully tomorrow, I'm gonna listen to some audiobooks. But like I said, the main goal this week is to finish this one. I am currently, I think, 117 pages in. Yes, 116 pages in out of 436. So I've got about 300 pages left. I should be able to get that done relatively easy as long as my head doesn't completely explode. I've not slept well for 3 nights in a row now. I have a cat. Hi. I'm tossing and turning. I'm hot and cold. I can't get comfortable. My pillows just, no matter what combination I use, I can't get it right. And it's taking me forever to fall asleep. So, yeah, I've been struggling a bit with that. What are you doing? Blocking out my light. Brat. She stole the light. Excuse you. Best. Thank you. So, yeah, I don't really have any other plans this week. I've also, for February, normally at the start, during either the start of the year or during my Bookmas, I tend to do a video where I do a spotlight on my favourite YouTubers and who I've been following and who I think you should follow. And I just didn't get round to it. So this year I've decided I'm going to do it as a Valentine's Day thing to spread the love. Next week and this week I'm going to be working on that to get that posted for Valentine's Day. And it will just be I love these people, you should too. So yeah, I'm very excited to get on and do that. For now, I am going to have a nap because I'm tired. You can tell I'm exhausted. And then try and get some reading done this evening. I'm not with it today. I'm trying to edit. I've got my January wrap up that I want to edit and get out today, if not tomorrow. I managed to get up reasonably early today, so yesterday and today. By the way, happy February. I can't believe it's February already. I'm going to probably say that every month. But, let's just mute the TV for now. Yesterday was the last day of the month, and I finished This Vicious Grace by Emily Teed. It started off really well, but then once the two realised they had an attraction to each other, it kind of became the only thing that the book was about. And then it became really good again right at the end when the fighting and the battle started. I was like, yes, this is getting really good. But it's still, a lot of the plot gave way to the emotions and feelings. And I felt like the battle was more about how worried she was for Dante than it was about the fight. And I still don't entirely know why this thing happens. We've not been given a lot of the actual history of the world, which at first I was like, that's fine. But as I got to the end of the book, I was like, but why are these things attacking? All we've been told is that every X amount of years it happens, but not why? Really? And I felt like it was lacking in the end. So even though there were some 5-star moments, and I think the dialogue is some of the best dialogue I've read, and the way that she built the character relationships, certainly like the friendships, is 5-star. The rest of it was not great, so I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. And I've decided to not continue the series and read the second one. And like I said, I do not like this whole new romantasy thing. I hate it. It's like, no, if I'm reading a fantasy, I'm reading it for the fantasy. I don't mind if a romance develops, but I do not like it when it becomes the plot. If I'm reading a fantasy, I want to know what's going on in the fantasy world, not what happens when two people in that fantasy world get together. Just, if I want to read a romance, I have romance that I can read for that. So yeah, I'm not really liking this thing. And I also felt for a YA, it was very mature. Like, this is definitely upper YA because it was getting pretty graphic. It did fade to black, but it was still like right at the point. It even sort of vaguely described him going inside of her. Like, you know, and I was like, yeah, this would not be a 13, 14-year-old book. But I even had to double check because I was like, are you sure this isn't a new adult or like adult? But no, it's a YA. So I was like, okay, that's kind of raunchy. Obviously, I know teenagers aren't innocent, but just, I don't know. In the end, like I said, 3.5. And then obviously we're now in February. Physical books, I only actually have 1 manga and 2 physical books on my TBR because I've only got 6 books on my entire TBR this month. So I've got Spy Family Volume 2, I've got Psalm for the Wild Bill, and I can't remember the third book. City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. Those are the 3 that are on my TBR. I've decided that I'm going to start with Psalm for the Wild Bill. So obviously Spy Family will be my first manga, Psalm for the Wild Bill will be my first novel. Also for manga, because obviously I am aware I only have a very finite amount of physical volumes, nowhere near 100, and obviously with money at the minute where I'm not currently working, I don't have a steady enough income to buy from Vinted. So does anyone know anywhere online that is either free, and because I know where I can get free manga, I know various places, I'm not going to say, but I know a couple of websites that I can use, but the translations aren't always great, and also it does sit a bit weird for me that it's technically illegal. So if anyone knows of anywhere I can get free or for like 99p, if I can just read some manga, that would be great, because obviously I can't afford Scribd or Everend. I can't afford that at the minute. I can't really afford KU right now, so I'm just going with what I can and what I can do for very, very cheap. And don't say library, because the library in my entire country seems to be lacking in manga, but especially in Staffordshire, there's like 4 manga series that I can read, and they're all like ones I'm not interested in. So yeah, if anyone knows where I can get some cheap or whatever manga to read online, that'd be great. But yeah, I have no energy today, so I'm just gonna play some Genshin, try and edit this video and see what happens. But yeah, I don't even know what day it is. It Friday? No, it's only Thursday. Oh my god. It's Friday. I have my love behind me. Just watching Ren's new TBR, well, not new TBR game, same game, just updated board and updated rules. I have had a really rough couple of days, and I'm having a really rough day. Thankfully, my doctor, I swapped GPs last year. I'm at the same surgery, but I changed the main doctor that I see. The one that I saw last year about my migraines, I asked 3 different times to be referred, or was telling her that the migraines weren't working and they were getting worse, and each time she was just like, and just refused to accept. And then she started to get quite, the last call we had, I ended up putting a complaint in, because she was sort of like, are you sure you're following the medication correctly? Are you sure you're not abusing it? And I was like, I monitor what I take very, very carefully so that I don't abuse it. Her tone was very, very judgmental and very patronizing. So I put in a complaint, switched to a new doctor. I explained everything to him, and he was like, yeah, we're not going to take you off paracetamol. We're not going to restrict your access to your sumatriptan. We're just going to supply it as you need it. And we'll get the referral to the hospital for you, because clearly there is something else underlying that you need looking at. And he immediately put everything into place and has been really supportive. So thankfully, after over a month of struggling and having very, very restricted and limited access to my main migraine tablets, I had a restock today. I've taken all of them, and I'm just hoping that they kick in. And then I've also been struggling with IBS and my stomach. I've had a really bad flare for about 3 weeks now. No, for about 2 weeks, in one specific part of my stomach. Just keeps getting really, really bad stabby pains and aches and groans, and I'm like, great. If it was on the other side, I'd be like, this is my appendix, but it's not. So I don't know what. I'm wondering what's going on. But we're here about books and reading. So update. Obviously, it's now February, and I like to try and get something read in the first day. And I did. I got Spy Family Volume 2 done, 4.5 stars. I loved it. It's very, very cute. There was one tiny part that kind of lost me a little bit, but the relationship between Anya, Yor, and Lloyd is incredible. And Lloyd, the man is hot, okay? He's drawn so well, and I love him so much. So I finished that while watching Brittany's reading sprints, and also on those sprints I started A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. I've read the first chapter. I think because my head was starting to go, I just wasn't really enjoying it as much as I'd hoped. It's okay, it's fine, but also it's the first time that I've actually read a book where the main character is non-binary. Up until now, it's been a side character who's not in it a lot. So it's kind of weird, because even though my partner is non-binary, I'm still getting used to the sort of vocabulary. And it's, like I said, it's the first time reading a book from the perspective of a non-binary character. So sort of my brain was struggling a tiny bit with saying where it's saying themselves and they, them, and their in different situations than I'm used to using it. But after the first chapter, I've kind of settled in. But for the first few pages, I was kind of like, right, what there is it? Is this a there as in other people, or there as in that person? But then I got used to it, and I think it's going to be cute. There's a couple of quotes and things already that I've highlighted or marked out. One in particular that got me. There was a gravity to leaving a place for good, a deep sense of seismic change. And when I think about it, I'm like, every time I've left somewhere and I know that I'm not coming back, it is a really odd sensation because there's hope, there's anticipation, but there's also fear and anxiety of what's coming. So yeah, I resonated with that. But we haven't met the robot yet. We're just sort of settling in with Dex. Gonna continue that today. And then unfortunately, I think I've got my first DNF of the year. We shall see. I've only read the first chapter, but I started First Blade, and the writing, first of all, the very first page had an issue that I didn't enjoy. It repeated a sentence. Where were we? First page, right at the bottom, and it says, his sword slashed deeply across its torso, revealing flesh and bone. Full stop, comma, slashing deeply across his torso, revealing flesh and bone. First page. I was like, that was very clunky and not well written. And I don't know, there's just something about the writing. Aston, Dainton, Cole, Kyan and Heath made up the rest of his team, and what a team of warriors they were. Elite fighting machines, they were highly skilled at what they did, and not a bad bunch of blokes in the bargain. That's just the first chapter, and it's obviously setting everything up and introducing the first character. Now we're going to start with the second character, the female. So I'm going to give the second chapter a go, but I have a horrible feeling that as much as I really wanted to love this one, I think it's going to be a DNF, which means I then need to pick something different. And then the other thing, on the Adventure-a-thon, there's one of the people that's joined called Dance Storm, who I absolutely love their little avatar because it's Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing, and he's like one of my all-time favourite characters in the history of anything I've ever watched in 33 years. So obviously that made me a little bit excited. But they were saying about, I'm really sorry if you're watching this, I don't know if you're she, he, they, so I'm just going to neutrally address you for now, and then if you want to tell me, then feel free. But they were saying on the Discord after Adventure-a-thon ended that they still wanted to complete a few of the books, even though they didn't get to them during January. Those books are still on TBRs, and was like, does anyone else want to join me and help prompt me? And I was like, well, I still want to get to Gold by Raven Kennedy, and I still really want to do Days at the Morisaki Bookshop and Shanghai Immortal if I can. I have now decided I'm not going to read Gold because this is the only copy I've got, and I'm like, just the thought, even trying to take the cover off, it's white underneath. I'm too scared that I'm going to damage this book, and I don't really want to be annotating and highlighting a special edition. So this one's going to go back on my shelf, and then when I've got funds, I will buy the ebook for now and read that at some point. So that's coming back off my TBR, but I am still hoping to read Days at the Morisaki Bookshop and Shanghai Immortal at some point and have Dance Storm be like my little reading buddy. And then I've basically just been spending yesterday and the day before in between bouts of, pain and dizziness. I've set up my bullet journal, so February's bullet journal. I'm going to do a full video, but you guys are getting a sneak peek. I've just got this really nice little theme. Most of the stickers are from either Oodalama Doodles or Julianne Doodles, which I'll link below. Just got my little setup for that I started, and I've started doing my notes and to-do. I started doing some research on YouTube because I was like, right, I really want to... I've been one away from 1,000 people for like 2 weeks now, and I'm getting really frustrated that I just can't seem to tick it over. So I started to do some research on, all right, what videos perform well, what don't do so well. And as I started to write down the videos with the least views and the least performance, I kind of went, what does that matter? Because a lot of the ones that don't perform well, I still really enjoy recording and editing and posting. And it was like, because it was things like my writing projects and when I do book reviews and some of the tags that I've done, I'm like, but I still really enjoy doing them. So I've decided that I will do more of the things that do bring engagement, but I'm not going to stop doing the things that don't, because as long as I'm enjoying posting them, I should. And that's what's important. And I don't see very many people do actual sort of book reviews these days. And so like people tend to review during wrap-ups. And I really, really do want to focus on giving individual reviews to my ARC reads, especially, and 2024 releases. I definitely want to focus on those. So I'm not going to stop doing things just because they don't get the views. But I am going to try and do more of the stuff that does. But yeah, like I've got my little... I love that page so much. It's a mixture of stickers from Julianne Doodles, like these ones, and then I drew in the rest. And then for my reading journal for February, I have done... I wasn't going to do a Valentine's theme, and then realised I might as well do a Valentine's theme, so I've just done this little envelope. So I've done that. I still haven't finished like with the flowery bits. I haven't like added all the decorations yet, but I've definitely realised that if I keep this journal going as I have been, I'm not going to get to the end of the year. I'm going to need a second one. And then January has looked like this. So, and I've also worked out with Bookemon. I have worked out what items I got, and it meant that I ended up I didn't expect this, but I ended up getting 2 Bookemon for the year. So I'm going to be doing a video where I'll talk about those updates. I've got so many videos that I need to do. That's basically going to be this weekend, is just trying to get a couple of books read and get all my journals, finish up my January spreads, record my February spreads, and do videos. I've got like a NetGalley tour. I've got my February, my main bullet journal set up, because I realised I didn't actually film that, so I'm going to do a belated one of those and talk through how January went. My bullet journal February, my reading journal February, although I might combine those two just as a February journal setup, reading and bullet journal. And then I've also got another journal video coming, which is setting up a reflective journal. And there's just so much stuff that I want to get done. And yet I feel like absolute crap. Story of my life. February day 2 is complete. It is now Saturday. I can't even remember what I said I was going to do yesterday, but what I can tell you I did was a butt ton of filming, a butt ton of editing, planning and prepping and filling in spreadsheets, and no reading. Or no, sorry, I read like 3 pages. I continued the First Knife book. I can't do it. It is officially my first DNF of the year. The writing is just very... not for me at all. Maybe some people will really enjoy it, but it wasn't for me. I didn't like when it switched to the female's perspective, it was like, ouch, was how it started. And it was like, oh, the brick moved and she put her hand in. She hoped there wasn't a spider, with an exclamation point. And I just like, I cannot do this. Just no. But yeah, I didn't read anything apart from enough to know that I'm going to DNF that other book. But today is the Phase and Gaze Readathon. It kicks off at 5 p.m. my time, which is in about 4 hours. I have my books picked. I'm ready to go. I'm not going to be talking about it on here because I have decided to record a separate vlog for it. And my head is currently, that's not real wood, is currently behaving itself. So as long as it continues to do so, I should be able to get at least 1, if not 2 of the books read today. So my plan is, it kicks off at 5. My plan is to have dinner at 5, and then from sort of 6 till 9 get this read, and then from 9 till midnight start the other one of the other ones, and then tomorrow when I wake up spend the first 3-4 hours finishing one, and then the afternoon sort of 12 till 5 doing the 3rd book. That is the plan. We shall see if that actually happens. If I end up just talking about it a tiny bit in the next part of the vlog, then you know it went well and there will be a full vlog coming or already out. And if it went badly, I will just talk about it in the next clip and just be like, it went badly, let's move on, the vlog didn't happen, I never said that I was going to do it. I can't believe I forgot to mention the huge big thing. I hit 1,000 subs! How did that should have been the first thing that I said. I hit 1,000 subscribers last night or yesterday afternoon, and I was so happy. I actually triggered a migraine because I was sort of going and yeah, triggered migraine, which was great. But thank you guys so much. Whether you are new here or have been here for years, I appreciate every single one of you. And now I'm trying to decide what I want to do to kind of celebrate. So what I'm thinking is to celebrate 1,000, I might go back to my very first few videos and just kind of do a bit of a reaction and have a bit of a talk about how things have changed. Or I might do something. So I'm going to have a think. But if you've got any ideas for how I could celebrate hitting 1K, let me know below. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm blown away. I know it's taken 5 years to get here, but I love being here. And yes, obviously, eventually I would like to hit a point where I can start earning money, but that isn't the goal. This isn't to turn myself into a business or a franchise. It's just to share my love of books. And I have different ways that I want to do that. And I've still got more ideas moving forward. So yeah, let me know if you have any content that you would like me to try or that you'd like to see more of from me. Similarly, if there's any content you think I should do less of, I might not listen to you, but I might ignore your suggestion, but it'll still be good to know if there's any things that you think maybe I could cut out. Just don't say the weekly vlogs, because no. They're a drain and I don't always enjoy doing them, but people seem to enjoy watching them, so I will continue to do them. But yeah, it's been a fever dream of 5 years, and there's been a lot change in 5 years. But the biggest thing is that I'm here, I'm motivated. It's the most consistent. I think the past sort of 6-7 months are the most consistent I have ever been with my YouTube and BookTube, and I'm here to stay. So thank you guys so much. Now I'm going to go do the stuff that I said I was going to do. Okay, the week is over. Very quick. Last thing that I've done for the week is this. We now have an 80s shrine / wall. And then here, I can't really see it, but here are photos of Ren and my nephews. So I'm keeping all the beautiful people close to me. Yesterday and today I took part in the Phase and Gaze 24-hour readathon, where I have done a vlog, so not really gonna say anything apart from go check that out. But I finished 2 books. I finished Witchblood by Lissa Casey and A Psalm for the World Built by Becky Chambers. If you want to know more about these books, guess you're gonna have to go on to the vlog. And then I've just sort of been editing bits and pieces as I've gone today, struggling with my head again. I've been getting a different kind of pain to the usual kind of just throbbing pressure pain. It's been sharp stabbing. I wish I was kind of pain. And it's like I get periods where it's okay, and then all of a sudden I get 5 minutes of absolute agony and want to scream. So yeah, we've evolved to a different type of migraine pain, which is great. And yeah, I'm literally now watching Brittany's sprints, and I can't remember how to say their name. Oh, they've come back, whoops. But City Girl Writer, who was one of the co-hosts on the sprints for Phase and Gaze, they are doing their own reading sprints now. So yeah, I'm going to be tuning into that for a little bit. And I'm just going to read one more volume of manga because it is now midnight. So I'm going to read one volume of manga and then go to bed. But yeah, this has been quite a good week. And then next week I'm trying something different. I'm going to be doing a completely talking free vlog, and it's all going to be cat books and cat manga. So we'll see how that goes. Just videos of me, of just music and sounds and no talking. We shall see how that goes. Especially being as it's me and I don't know how to stop talking, as is right now, for example. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that vlog. Let me know how your reading went. Did you get anything finished, or have you made any progress on anything, or even started anything new? Let me know how your week's gone. I hope you're all good. I hope you're staying safe. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!